Hi, my name is Sarah, and I am a thrifter turned reseller. So I've always thrifted. It's been since I was a little girl. We grew up thrifting out of necessity, and as I've gotten older, it's been just purely out of fun and the entertainment of finding strange, unusual things, of finding really good quality items for super cheap. So as I was doing this, and I was bringing home things for my family, I was decorating my house, I was giving things away, I realized that I could actually be selling some of these things I was finding that nobody really needed around me. I have friends who have watched me build my business over the last 3 years, and they've been asking, Sarah, how do we get started? What do we do? And I am so excited to be able to help anybody who is interested in learning how to sell from home, because I had a friend, a little shout out to Thrifting from the Net, or Thrifting for the Nest. Sorry, Sarah. Sarah Siegel, who does a YouTube channel as well. You should check her out. She was super generous with her time and knowledge and got me going. And so she was the one I'd like Instagram and be like, what about this? What about that? And so what I was hoping to do, as I've been responding to people individually, is I wanted to just do a quick tutorial of sorts of just kind of what are the basic things I would tell my friends you should grab in order to get started reselling online. So first of all, you do need to have something like a smartphone, a way to take pictures, a computer, some way to upload your images, and data entry online. So that's kind of a basic. You need to have a smartphone, you need to have or a camera and a computer would be another combination that would work. So hopefully that is not a barrier. But other than that, it's very minimal. One of the things that you do need is a postal scale. So I tell everyone, just get a postal scale. It's like $10 or $12. I was hesitant at first. I'm like, I'm not sure I really want to do this. I don't want to spend any money. But I would suggest it's going to save you headaches, and it's going to save you extra costs in shipping because of not being able to calculate it quite right. So this is a definite, use 10 bucks, let that be your big expenditure and get started. I got this one from Amazon. It is very simple. It has this flip thing, which I like because sometimes I have awkward packages that I kind of need to balance on here. It has a excuse me, a side button right here that if the package is too big and bulky where I can't even read the screen here, I can push the button on the side and it holds the weight, and then I can be able to read it once I remove my package. So I'd make sure that if you're excuse me I think I need some water. Apparently I'm not used to talking a lot, which isn't true. So anyway, I would definitely recommend getting one that either holds the weight or you're able to kind of freeze the weight so you can see it after. So 10, 12 bucks. Get a postal scale. There's my little sales pitch on postal scales. Okay, the other thing I would recommend right off the bat, you don't really have to. You could go to the Dollar Tree and just get some mailers, but pretty soon it's going to be important to get, these are called poly mailers. When I first got started reselling, I didn't know what a poly mailer was. I had to Google it. It was very confusing to me. How do I buy a poly mailer when I don't know even what I'm looking for? So this is like a size that I use probably the most. It's a 9 by 12, I believe. And it fits tons of things. T-shirts, dresses, some lightweight pants, anything under 16 ounces you can mail first class. And with first class, you want to keep it light. You pay by the ounce pretty much. There's different cutoffs of when the price jumps, but the lighter the better. And so poly mailers are going to be your easy way of packing items that are not going to break, that are under a pound. So I like to have a few different sizes. This is a size I got recently that I'm trying out. I've gotten giant ones for like big ski coats that don't really fit very well in priority mailers. There's all different sizes. I've gotten little tiny ones I've used for bras and ties and gloves, things like that. But I would say if you were going to start off with one, a 9 by 12 is going to suit most every purpose you have. So that's for shipping first class. So USPS first class, they let you ship from your home up to 16 ounces. I think if you go into the post office, they don't even let you go. I think it's up to 15 ounces, and you always round up. So if you have something 15.1 ounces, you put in the shipping information, you're going to put in 16 ounces, and always go on the roundup so that there's no issues with your shipping. I actually have only had one problem where I did not do the correct shipping, and that was having to do with priority mailers and getting something confused with flat rate versus regular. So maybe I'll talk about that because it just came to my mind. There are, on USPS, on their website, there are free shipping supplies. How awesome is that? That you can stock up with boxes and mailers for completely free, and then you just pay for the actual shipping price when you go to ship your item. This one is only available on USPS.com. You can't go into the post office and grab it. So I stock up on these. I just did an order of like the maximum I could get because I'm almost out of them again. And so they're super helpful. They're called the padded flat rate envelopes. So if something says on it flat rate envelope, that means that you are going to be able to, whatever you can fit in it, it doesn't matter the weight. You could mail bricks, basically up to 70 pounds, I think it is, and it will be one price. So flat rate envelopes are different than boxes that do not say flat rate, or anything that, if it doesn't say flat rate, you're going to be charged by weight. So this is probably my favorite normal box. This is a shoe box. And this works really well for shoes that are like men's size 12s. Do not fit in this. I ship there's a tongue twister. I ship shoes in this all the time. I was really worried at first that people would be offended that I was sending something in an envelope that's, a shoe. But what I do is I put inside the shoe like some crumpled up paper, some bubble wrap, something to hold the shape if I'm worried that it's going to get squashed in transport. And I've never had a problem. I've never had a complaint. It saves them a lot of shipping. But this, for shoes that don't fit in that, I do this type of a box usually, unless it's super heavy. And but for just long tennis shoes that aren't going to fit in something like this, I'm going to put in here. And this will be charged by weight. So it's kind of nice. Their boxes are a little bit on the thinner side, so they don't weigh quite as much. So I use this one a lot. So if I was going to get started and just order a few items from the USPS store, I would definitely do padded flat rate. I would definitely do the shoe box size. And then I would also, depending what size of things, but if you're starting off with clothes and shoes around the house, which is what I and many other people recommend, is just find some clothes, things that you have that you're done with, and learn free. Like, learn from the things that you aren't paying for, and it will give you the experience of shipping, of listing, of how to work with customers. And so if you're working with those items, usually these type of boxes will work great. This is a medium flat rate. They have a couple different versions. This is the more boxy one. I think they also have a flatter one. I know the large flat rate, they have almost like the size of like a game board, like a thin long, and it's also called a large flat rate, so you kind of have to watch the dimensions. But I really like this one because I can fit a lot of stuff in here, like heavy leather jackets, wool coats. I use this one pretty frequently. So medium flat rate, padded flat rate, the shoe box from Priority USPS are going to be my favorite priority mailers. Okay, so now that we have the basic shipping supplies, you need a way to print your stuff. So a printer is going to be really helpful. There's ways of doing it without a printer. You could go to the library, you could go to your local postal, like postal annex or whatever, to print off a few sheets. Like, don't let that stop you, because pretty soon you'll have enough money to invest in a printer. Like, you will be able to make money in this business. But one thing that, as you get going, that I found super helpful if you do have a printer at home, is to buy half sheet labels. So this is a label that has basically 2 labels per page. I put them through one way, flip it over, put it through the other way. I highly recommend on that note of printing, I got a printer from a garage sale because, of course, I'm a thrifter. I'm gonna look for deals, and it's a laser printer. The toner lasted a year, and I found another thing of toner from the Goodwill for like $1. So there are definitely ways of doing all of this super cheap. So keep your eye out. Be hunting for things. There's also little labelers that a lot of people use. But I use the laser printer. I use half sheet labels. Put them in both ways so I get my money's worth on these. But it just makes the process so much faster if you can peel off a label, slap it on once you start having multiple sales per day. It's a time saver versus printing out on paper and cutting and taping it on, which is what I did at first until I felt like I was ready to pay more for some half sheet labels. So those are some of the basic things to get started. Don't let shipping scare you. Just get your supplies so that you're ready to go. So you have what you need in order to weigh things, measure things. I like to do calculated shipping or flat rate. Like if it's a flat rate item and I know, like the flat rate envelopes, let me show you again. So the flat rate envelope here currently is costing me $7.33. So every time I know it's gonna fit in this, a pair of shoes or some jeans, then I will automatically put in flat fee and charge the buyer $7.33. If it's a one of these medium flat rates, I'm going to charge them $12.85 because I know that. If you aren't sure yet what it's going to be, all you have to do is in eBay, there's a drop-down menu, and you're going to pick, okay, it's going to fit in a medium flat rate, and they'll charge the buyer for you. With Poshmark, if you get started on Poshmark, it is so easy. They email you a label, and you get to pick. It's kind of funny because I've been an eBayer for 3 years before switching or adding Poshmark to my list of platforms that I sell on, and it felt like Christmas, you guys, because I was able to order all the boxes from the world. Like, it didn't matter. I know on eBay this one would cost tons more, but it fits my item so perfectly, and I can ship it in that, and it doesn't matter. It's all the same price. So the buyers pay a little under $7 to ship on Poshmark as long as it's under 5 pounds. So if you can think about if something is the size and weight that would fit in a medium flat rate on eBay, so say like a heavy pair of, let me think, like a pair of Doc Martens, something kind of heavy but that is small enough to fit in a medium flat rate, your buyer is going to spend $13. On Poshmark, that is not over 5 pounds. Poshmark, they're only going to pay $7. So there's a savings, and I think there's a little bit of a correlation of what people buy on Poshmark based on the weight. Like, they're not going to be as excited to spend $7 mailing a t-shirt when on eBay they can pay $3 or $3.50. And so sometimes I see heavier items sold on Poshmark, and maybe that's me feeling like I have more wiggle room because I feel like I need to give a better deal on eBay because I know that they're going to pay more for shipping, so maybe I price things differently. I don't know if it's like me causing that or if I really am seeing a difference, but I feel like people are smart. They know when they're getting a better deal on shipping. Okay, so that's the boxes. I did want to say that I'm on Instagram at Sarah Resell. Which every time I say that, I want to laugh because I actually tried to get the Instagram name Sarah Resells, but someone else has that, which I should look her up and see who she is. But because I couldn't do Sarah Resells, I did Sarah Resell, which doesn't even grammatically make sense. And my husband actually thinks it's really funny and calls me Sarah Resell all the time. And now people, like friends, will start calling me that. Which, oh well. At least people are remembering it, so I'm just gonna go with it. I'm on eBay at Raspberry Lane. We live on a street called Raspberry Lane. Our neighborhood used to be a raspberry field, which is super fun. Kind of makes me sad for the raspberries, but so that's my store name. And again, my husband was like, that is way too girly. I can't be involved in this business, but he helps me all the time. And my Poshmark is smueller09. So those are the places I'm most active and the best ways to reach me. This YouTube channel is brand new. This is my first YouTube video. I hope you subscribe and give me a thumbs up if this is at all helpful. I know that as I've been looking for tutorials, I kind of have been thinking what would be helpful, and I really would love feedback. I would love comments of like ideas that you have for future videos, or even if you have like other ideas, because people will read down through the comments and maybe you'll be able to share some information that's been helpful for you for getting started reselling. I did want to say that this is not a permanent backdrop this is my photographing area in my garage, and this is just one of my recent, I've been trying to get more into vintage just because I love it. Like, I think it's so much fun. And to research items and to find things from different eras. And this is, as you can tell, very 80s style prom dress. And so prom season will be coming soon. I want to get stuff posted, but it's got, you know, the whole floral giant bow lace thing going on. And I was washing it. I soaked the bottom in OxyClean because it had some staining, and so anyway, it was in here drying, and I was like, oh, you know, it's better than a plain white background. And so who knows how this will change with depending on what I'm finding as I'm thrifting and reselling. So I hope you're excited to get started if this is brand new to you. I hope you try it out, because regardless, it's a great way to get rid of stuff in your house. You can do that tax-free because you're doing it at a loss, so you don't even have to worry about the accounting part of it if it's just clearing out and getting rid of stuff. If you want to expand and become a business, then there's ways to do that. It's super fun and encouraging and exciting too. I'm having a blast doing it. It's an amazing community if you get involved, especially on Instagram. I've been really pumped up to be able to get more involved in that. Just that dialogue of things that are working, what's not working, what are trends within the different platforms, and what are buyers liking versus not. Reselling's changed a lot in the last few years, and I know it's going to continue to change, and it's fun to just keep up with what's going on. And so I definitely recommend following a bunch of people. And if you want to do it privately, that was another thing, is I was kind of like a Instagram stalker for like 3 years because I didn't want anyone to follow me. And I felt awkward talking about reselling on my personal page because who really cares? So I just kind of kept that part of my life kind of buried a little bit. And then since getting an Instagram reselling account, I then feel way more comfortable to get involved. And so it's been super fun. So you can do it either way, but definitely follow people and learn. People have a wealth of information. I love watching solds and finding out what people are selling, what's working, what buyers are liking. So definitely check that out. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And I hope, again, if this is at all helpful or interesting, that you would subscribe and you would like this video. Thanks, and have a great day.